Good morning. Tuesday morning, and walking this trail again to get to the other bus where I can catch the train for only $2. So I got to go to Kramer today. Or I can stay on the bus and go over to Crestview, but that's such a long bus ride. Whew. This little trail that I always complain about being dark, it's a little bit more light, and the only reason why, because we got cloud cover. And what the clouds do is it reflects some of the light coming from the city back down to Earth. And so it provides a little extra, kind of like overall lighting, like a very mild, soft light across the landscape. If it wasn't cloudy, it would be extremely dark out here. And the moon is a crescent moon tonight, so we can barely see it through the clouds. This is scurry. A lot of news came out in the last couple of days. Nokia has announced that they're going to release a separate handset for T-Mobile. They're going to probably do the same thing for Verizon too, as well. So this separate handset is going to have the same features as the Nokia 820, with some additional features like a front-facing camera. The 820 does not have a front-facing camera, but the 810 will. It's going to run Windows Phone 8. It's got a really nice camera. It does 720p in the front and the back, so you'll be able to get that high-definition FaceTime videos on it, which is pretty cool. I really think that's going to be a nice additional feature for T-Mobile users. Because at this time, the 820, let me say it like this, the 920 is only going to be available through AT&T. There are a lot of pissed people because they're really excited about the Lumia 920, but the fact that it's only going to be available through AT&T, that kind of adds a little distinction it's just like iPhone. The iPhone, people left other carriers to get with AT&T so they can get with the iPhone, right? Didn't they do that? But in this case, the Nokia Lumia 920 is going to do the same thing. And Chris Perillo said it best in his one of his geek outs. Is Windows Phone 8 an iPhone? I don't think so, because when the iPhone came out, there wasn't really any other competition out there. BlackBerry was probably the only competition they had, and the Windows Mobile OS was the only thing else that was out there. iPhone came out and was like, hey, we're about to put smartphone and make it big, and they did. iPhone went big, So will Nokia have the ability to do that? I mean, not with all this other competition like Android and iPhone. I really don't think so. There are too many iPhone lovers out there, and iPhone is now available on a few networks, and it's also available on Cricket, And so just to release it for AT&T, it doesn't make sense. What are they trying to do? I mean, it doesn't. I don't think people would switch carriers to get a Nokia phone. There are a lot of people who don't like AT&T. They absolutely hate it. There are a lot of people who are in love with their T-Mobile service or with their Sprint service. And they will talk up and down and swear up and down that it is the best service they ever had. Me personally, AT&T has probably the worst customer service, but when it comes to the actual service itself, AT&T is pretty damn good. That's just my opinion. Other people may have other opinions. People usually are attached to a company because of good customer service. And I understand that, T-Mobile and a few other services that have, good customer service. Me, on the other hand, I am into what works. But it doesn't necessarily mean that AT&T is the best. I'm just saying I had no problems when it comes to the technical service. I didn't have any problems with AT&T whatsoever. Now, customer service-wise, I never really dealt with customer service, so I never had a reason. I did everything online, or if I had a question, usually I go to, that online chat, ask my questions. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Thank you for the information, and I'm off. I rarely call. I don't like being on the phone anyway. It's funny because I'm talking to a phone right now. But yeah, AT&T, I was really hoping that at least two major carriers would have carried the Nokia 920. At least two of them. And I was thinking that was going to be Verizon, I was thinking that Verizon and AT&T, which uses two different technologies, GSM and CDMA. As you know, AT&T and T-Mobile's on GSM technology, and it requires one of those chips to activate. And those chips you can put on any phone, it will work, which is great, right? And then Sprint and Verizon, they use CDMA technology. Two completely different technologies. They're not compatible with each other at all. So to make one phone that can run on all four networks, or on both networks, say like that, that phone will be pretty big. It will be a huge phone, and so that's why a lot of manufacturers, they have to release one phone for one carrier and make a slightly different phone for a different carrier. So I can see why they came out with 810 for, T-Mobile is on the same type of network as Nokia. So I don't know. I really don't know what Nokia is doing, and I don't see how they feel that's going to be a successful move. Maybe because AT&T told Nokia we only will sell the 920 only if you make it exclusive. That could be it. And of course, AT&T being one of the largest carriers, they decided it may behoove them to go ahead and be exclusive with AT&T. So I don't know. I just don't understand it. I think, you know what? I think that's what probably happened. AT&T said, we're only going to do it if you go exclusive with us only. Nokia knows and understands AT&T has the largest customer base. So, of course, they're going to be on AT&T's side, and I bet you the other carriers are pissed off. So that's why Nokia had to make the 810 for T-Mobile, and we're going to see later if they're going to do something for Verizon. At this time, Sprint has never announced selling Windows Phone 8 on their network. They never have. So unless something changes within the next month or so, I think people on Sprint may be out of luck. But I think something will come to Verizon. I was about to say Horizon or Horizon, I don't know. I think it will come to Verizon. We'll see. We'll see what happens.